Middays with Marks. The voices you trust. John Marks, Sean Brace, and Ray Dunn. All Philadelphia, all day. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
And it is Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic. No Sean Brace. Ray Dunn is here. But you know what? I'm not saying good morning to anybody. I'm going to say, Ray, play the gosh darn song. Play it. We're showing Jeff, bro. Good morning, Ray Dunn.
Good morning, Johnny. We've never been so back.
I'm in.
Oh, I'm so in.
Ray was there last night, and we say good morning to this familiar voice. Good morning.
Morning.
What's up,
what a
Jason
time.
Martinez, everybody.
Like, seriously, what a time. You could knock out the Penguins and the Celtics in 1 week. Like, who wrote this? Stephen King couldn't come up with
It's
stuff
not my
like this.
handwriting, that's for sure.
No.
Unbelievable. You're not kidding.
Nuts.
How many weeks ago was it neither team's making the playoffs? It's, I guess the Flyers emerged before the Sixers did, but there was a point with the Sixers where we thought they were going to make the actual playoffs, and Embiid gets injured, and then they were playing. But then it's like you knew they were going to be a play-in because it was locked in. But other than that, it's like, can they win the playing game or whatever? Now we're on the verge of a Game 7.
Oh, there is nothing better in sport than a Game 7. You know why? Because anything can happen in a Game 7. There's so much tension and buildup. Like, I love scar tissue of the first 6 games and 1 game to take it and move on.
Yep.
Like, that's and again, like, to bounce the Penguins and the Celtics in 1 week
That'd be something.
is epic.
Yeah,
It's freaking epic.
So yesterday, and overall, I think it's fair to say the show itself has been kind of negative on the 76ers. We were more worried that a win would keep Daryl Morey and Joel Embiid and everything else. They wouldn't make any changes. And honestly, right now, I don't even care about that because I can't tell you how impressed I've been with the Sixers, even getting to a Game 7. But it's not just about getting to a Game 7 right now. They have the look of a team that has confidence that they can go up to Boston and they can win. And the Celtics have the look of a team that knows the Sixers can go up to Boston in Game 7 and win.
Look like they got a chicken bone in their throat. They can't clear it.
Man,
You know what I mean?
they look spooked.
Yeah.
And because, like, whoever's... I mean, you have to give Nick Nurse a lot of credit, but
Absolutely.
the plan and how they've defended the Celtics the last 2 games and Paul George's defense on Jaylen Brown, and it's not something that's been done before and been effective against the Celtics. If they can't shoot the 3, they typically don't win, and they have not been able to shoot the 3. And Joel Embiid did not shoot well last night. He was fantastic.
In Game 5.
Last night, what was he, 6 for 18?
Yeah.
I mean, he also had a triple-double, but he was fantastic even though he didn't shoot the ball. He didn't overdo it. He didn't force it. Early on, we had actually talked about it yesterday on the show. It's like, Embiid, we know you're the star. We know you're the MVP. We know that you want to make it happen. We need to see Tyrese Maxey go off early, and Embiid let the game come to him. And, man, defense and Embiid was great last night. Maxey was great last night. Edgecombe was great last night. Paul George, Ray, it's crazy. All season long, all the positive Sixers fans, like the idea was with Paul George, with Maxey, with Edgecombe, with Joel Embiid, they have a real roster if they can put it all together where they can
stay together.
They can beat anybody in the East.
Yeah, well, Paul George goes 5 for 9 from 3 last night. That was huge.
And that's how you win.
That's how you win. He was their best 3-point shooter last night. Edgecombe, you're right, off the rush, if you will. Like they have Boston scratching their head. And Boston, all of a sudden, who had the 3-1 lead, is going, oh, no. If we got to deal with all 4 of these guys, and when Embiid is willing to defer to not be the high scorer with a guy like Maxey, you got a problem.
No, you're right.
That's a big thing. That's a mental thing for him.
And also, Maxey's been good. Ray, it doesn't feel like Maxey's had his best game yet.
He hasn't had the bust out.
Right?
That entire team last night got so many great looks, and in terms of actually knocking down those great looks, I would say it was mediocre at best. Like, just above average in terms of the shots they generated versus the shots they made. The quality of shot last night for the 76ers was fantastic. They didn't knock down as many as they probably could have that were open. Maxey, an example of that. Embiid, an example of that. He talked after the game about getting in rhythm. Last night, they missed a lot of really good looks and still won that game handily.
Yeah. How good were they from the line last night, too? That's huge.
And you know what? Embiid also wasn't.
Yeah.
You know the games in Embiid's 15 for 16 from the line because he's taking so many shots and he's flying on the ground and flopping all over the place trying to draw fouls. He wasn't doing that last night.
That's what we talked about yesterday in terms of him diagnosing what the defense was in front of him. I mean, he did such a good job
what
last
they
night.
give you, right?
Exactly that.
There's so many times that he did the exact opposite of that. He'd play right into the teeth of the defense, but you've got other options. You've got a guy in Maxey. You've got a guy now, like he and Paul George have played, a collective 25 games together? Like, that's crazy. But here we are, Game 7, man.
Paul George was great last night. His defense on Jaylen Brown, I think, has been the difference in these last 2 games.
I can give Nick Nurse credit for that.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, so Jaylen Brown likes to penetrate, and he likes to do the push-off. He likes to penetrate, then he kicks it out.
Yep.
But he can't get penetration. So there's no kick out.
He moves in and gets a little elbow in there for a little separation.
He does, but what he's counting on is that he penetrates, someone comes over to try to help, and that's when he kicks it out. He's not getting by Paul George.
No.
He's not. So
George looks fresh.
He does. But listen, Ray, we laughed at him when he said that maybe the drug suspension wasn't the best thing to happen. Yeah, he's fresh.
It's the ultimate load management, Johnny Marks. You feel a little good for a while because you're taking something. And then you get suspended for it. It doesn't wear down the body.
So are you saying all the Sixers should do drugs at different times next year and get suspended?
My buddy next to me last night, who I have the season tickets with, was like, sign me up for a 25-game absence next year. Yeah. This is the way he's going to look at the playoffs. Give me another one next year.
We're not going to call it load management anymore. We're going 25-game sus.
Every fan should talk themselves into their team winning a Game 7. By the time that the game's happening, you should talk yourself into it. But that's not the feel I have. My feel is
they've earned it.
They're going up there, and they have a legit chance to win. They have the Celtics on the ropes.
Yeah.
And the Celtics last night looked like they were on the ropes, and they looked like they were feeling the pressure. And the Sixers were playing like the confident team that, honestly, that was like, there's blood in the water.
Yeah.
We can beat these guys.
And then you do last night, and now you're going to a Game 7. You know how much pressure's on Boston in Game 7?
All on them.
It's all. The Sixers are going up there house money. But, look, they have pressure, too, because you want to advance. But that being said, they're going up there feeling great where they are right now. Boston is going,
what are we going to do?
What are we doing?
What's the answer?
Yeah, so, what if Maxey does have absolute... What if Embiid comes out and is capable of putting up the 40-point Embiid? We can't stop him. What are we going to do then?
Yeah, they have more options than Embiid, and they have more options than Maxey. So it wasn't a great...
Edgecombe and George. I mean, it's crazy.
Wasn't a great first quarter. Neither team shot the ball particularly well, but they scored 38 points in the second quarter.
That's insane.
But then it's like, all right, well, what's going to happen in the third quarter? They come out. Boston scores 14 points in the third quarter. It's all about the defense. It really is. Their perimeter defense, they're not getting good looks. They're not getting open shots. I mean, the final score, 106-93. Missoula pulled the starters with like 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
That game was over. So the final score, I can't tell you how I couldn't be more
really
impressed
like
with
a
this
20-point win.
It was.
It's not just a 13-point win. It's a 20-point win. You pulled guys out.
Tatum looks, the legs look really heavy. Tatum doesn't look like the same player. Looks like a player that missed most of the season, coming back from a major injury, and he did. Jaylen Brown has been rendered ineffective with Paul George guarding him. Derek White has been horrendous in this series. Man, he can't shoot worth a lick. And then, actually, last night, I guess he did okay from three. But, like, they're not getting the open looks that we saw. The game where they hit all the three-pointers, they got open looks. The adjustment that was made after that, give Nick Nurse a lot of credit.
Yeah, he deserves it.
Give him a lot of credit. Whatever adjustment was made is working because the players are executing. They've come out with an energy, and now they have the look of, you know what? Why can't we beat this team? They're not more talented than us. Paul George, Embiid, Maxey, Edgecombe. Grimes didn't have the same game he had in Game 5, but he had a lot of minutes, and he's effective out there, and he brings some attitude to the game as well. All right, 610-632-0975. 610-632-0975.
How
phone lines,
that?
Davis Honda text line with the voice memo. So leave your voice memos as well. Jason is obviously here, so we have the Flyers conversation. We know when they're going to start the series against Carolina.
Tomorrow night at 8.
Jeez, man. Both teams are going to be playing tomorrow night.
I know, which sucks, in all fairness. because I don't want to splinter. But you got a Game 7 of the first round Celtics, Game 1 of the second round.
Unbelievable. That's coming up. We'll take your reaction to last night.
Are you kidding me?
People got to wake up here. Let's go.
All right, your reaction coming up next. Middays with Mark.
Middays with Marks, with John Marks and Ray Dunn. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Very good game.
Embiid on the back now. Tatum comes to double on the back, and Oubre gets a jam. What a dish by Embiid. A behind-the-back bounce pass. Kelly Oubre from the right baseline gathered it and then dunked it. Brown down the lane. Brown rejected by the Sixers. Here comes the run out. George behind his back to BJ, and he slams it. Timeout Boston. What a game. Sixers 69. Boston 54. Are you kidding me? BJ Edgecombe slams it in. Are you kidding me?
We got Are You Kidding Me? That makes me happy.
I love it.
For Pete's sakes.
Even in the third period or third quarter, I wasn't feeling, all right, here comes Boston.
You thought a run was coming, right?
I didn't think there was a run coming.
You didn't see it in the eye.
No, I mean, I heard some of the play-by-play from Boston, and they kept trying to will all right, well, there's a 3. Now they got it to within 14. And the Sixers answered every time.
Like a 15-2 run, it never came.
It never came. It didn't. And it didn't feel, I don't know about you, Ray. You were down at the game. It didn't feel like it was coming.
We watched that game very differently, Johnny.
Really?
I watched that game with every bit of Sixers PTSD I've ever had. They were up big, and I was like, no.
Thinking triple doink.
I was thinking about this guy, honestly.
So here we go again.
As they got up big in the third quarter, I was like, no. Don't give me a Doc game.
Get excited.
Don't give me a Doc game. My buddy who I was at the game with, we went in there with 2 different mindsets. He's like, there's no shot they're losing this game. And I was like, we've been doing this season ticket plan for how long? Like, we've been to how many games?
Yeah, do you have amnesia?
Yeah, he's like, there's no way they're losing this game. And sure enough, we had the most obnoxious Celtics fan behind us. It was incredible. Like, the arena sounded like it did, honestly, going back to that Raptors series, like early those games when like people were in love
Game
with the
7
team.
rap?
No, I'm talking before. Like, I
Okay.
was there Game 3 against the Raptors, ironically with the same guy, and like we remember that arena shaking when Embiid did the windmill dunk. They crushed the Raptors in that series. We were feeling like that game again with the way the arena was buzzing last night. It was amazing.
So what was the second quarter like when they're just filling it up?
Oh, the place just kept erupting, and
It was like one after another.
One after another. And that sequence that I just played, the 2 behind the back passes, leading to dunks.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought they were going to have to build the new arena within the next week because they were going to be out without one because I thought the place was going to explode.
The structure was going to implode.
Right.
And then what about when they're D'ing up in the third quarter?
Oh, people are standing up. Like, you got the CYO coaches that are up there giving the defense stance.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Like, willing them on. I got a guy 4 rows in front of me giving it to the Celtics fan behind me. They're yelling at each other. I'm like, I'm going to be
What
in
an
the
atmosphere.
All right, so Sixers, this is third quarter. Sixers up by Derek White makes a 3 to pull to 12. It's like, all right. They go down, Sixers answer Kelly Oubre, they go up 14. So it's like, all right, they're up 14. Celtics come down, they miss a 3. Defensive rebound. Paul George nails a 3. Now they're up 17.
Yeah.
So they got it to within 12, and then
Back to 17.
They got a hit, they got a stop, they got a 3.
Yep.
And that was really the story of the game. Celtics get it to within 15. They get to within 13. It's like, all right, they're starting to make a run here. And then
2 steps forward, 5 steps back.
And then the Sixers are back up 17.
Yeah.
So every answer that the Celtics tried to get that going, the Sixers had a response for it. And their defense is really the story.
But like that Paul, like the Paul George 3, the D of Paul George, and then like a 3 like that at that spot.
Big spots.
That's a huge spot to be able to hit a 3 in there. When they go down, they miss a 3, and it's a 6-point swing.
Yep.
Huge.
Ray, it feels like everybody's going to be back next year. Like winning 3 games. I mean, honestly, this is exactly what all the positive Sean Bernards and all the positive 76ers fans that have told me this all year. That idea is what we saw the last 2 games.
He's finally seen it come to fruition.
Yeah. That's what they imagine. And also, it's amazing what it looks like when your 3 max players are out there playing off of one another.
It is amazing.
Like,
That's why you signed last night. It's the reason why you signed Paul George.
correct. And even going into that game, I saw it. I think it was NBC Sports Philadelphia. I got the notification on my phone. It was a story about Paul George going into the game, talked about how he was doing everything they need him to do. And I was like, man, this is a really Tobias-coded story here. Because you remember, every year we got the Tobias, he's guarding the best player.
Yeah.
You know, he's the third
3D.
option. Man, last night was the reason why you can't compare those two guys. Tobias might be in Cancun by the end of the night, and Paul George, man, it looked like it was 2016 and we were in Indianapolis last night.
Wow, at Conseco Fieldhouse.
Joel Embiid only had 19 points. I mean, think about this. Embiid had 19 points, and they were up 20 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
6 of 18 from the floor. He had 10 rebounds, 8 assists, 1 turnover. You know how you have 1 turnover and you're in Joel Embiid? You don't force it to him, and he doesn't force it.
He
And
gets the ball
didn't
out
last
of his
night.
hands in due time, like at the right time, instead of holding on to it too long where he gets smothered.
What a game.
It was unselfish.
What a great game. What a great atmosphere. And fans are always going to want their team to win and are always going to talk themselves or think their team's going to win. This is more than that.
No, there'll be NBA neutrals that will say the Sixers have the look of a team to upset the Boston Celtics.
They sure do.
The neutrals will say that. The honk neutrals will go that far, I think.
Right.
Because you look at this, they do. You're right. They look like kind of confused.
They looked spooked last night.
Yeah.
They did. And Ray, just remember who was in first.
I'm in.
Me. Now, I've moved far off of that since then, but I was in first.
You're back.
Yeah, I'm back.
Doesn't matter that you left and came back. You're
that's
still
right.
in first.
So keep this in mind. If you're around long enough, your initial take can be true, even if it becomes wrong in between them. Like Sean Brace.
Yeah.
Right.
Sean Brace back in January or whenever it was, after they beat the Rockets, he had said that do you have it, Ray? He had said something, and then everybody made fun of him after saying that because it seemed like
now it's true.
Now it's true again.
Yeah.
No, it really is. Now it's true again.
That's called full cycle. That's the
It
cycle
is.
of life.
Here's Sean Brace.
Your team, your town, your Philadelphia 76ers are contenders for the East. It's as simple as that.
It's as simple as that, man.
That's followed him for like 6 weeks like a scarlet letter.
Oh, we made fun of him.
There is nobody that's been more on the roller coaster than Sean.
Always.
He's had heel turns. He's turned
kidding
face
me?
again.
Yeah. Sean for a long time.
So real fast, and I'm gonna get ahead of myself. We're gonna get ahead of ourselves. We'll go to the phones in a second. We'll get your voice memos and your text messages. But let's say they win Game 7, and they still got to go up there and win. Obviously, all right. Okay, so Jason says when.
When?
Their matchup would be against the Knicks. The Knicks had a historic win last night. They were up by like 80 points. They were on pace to score 200 points at one point in the game.
And nobody told the Hawks that the game was last night.
Well, they could play defense.
What a beatdown that was. But, I mean, honestly, if the Sixers are able to win this, who's better than the Sixers in the East? Knicks? Maybe? No, I mean, the Knicks are the...
But if you're matching up with George, Embiid, and Maxey and Edgecombe, it's different. We haven't seen this team.
I'd be curious. If they win this game, I'll be curious to see what the odds are for the East.
Yeah.
Because the Pistons are still down a game. They could still win the series. Or you're not dealing with the 83 Sixers here with the Magic. But still, do the Pistons look like outside of Kate Cunningham and Tobias? They don't have anybody else that could score.
Yeah.
So I mean, if they can win this Game 7, the Eagles. The year they won the first Super Bowl, they snuck up on everybody, and then Carson Wentz gets injured, and it's like, oh well, they're not going to win a Super Bowl with Nick Foles. Yeah. That was the only way the Eagles were going to win their first Super Bowl was in a situation like that.
Yeah, you needed that perfectly to lay out. Even though a lot of people wanted them to get Jacksonville in the Super Bowl, they ended up with New England and still won.
So is this the year where everybody? It's like, oh, the
kind
Sixers
of parks
suck.
out of the way.
You're trading Embiid. Everybody's getting fired, and now all of a sudden they're making this run that nobody expected.
The irony in it would be so
incredible.
Thick. It'd be unbelievable. And we're getting ahead of ourselves, of course. But I'm worried about tomorrow. I'm not worried about it. But that's what's on my mind. Tomorrow night's game, what's in front of you is a chance to sink the Celtics, send them into the offseason, and you move on to the next round and the Knicks. And that's fun, too.
And I listened to Boston radio this morning, and they very much were oh, my God.
I can't believe going on to Game 7.
I wasn't expecting this, and it wasn't they got this in Game 7. It was, uh-oh. It was an uh-oh.
Because when you get to game, like the Flyers were up 3-0. And if they would have went to game 7, I'm going, uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Because game 7, literally anything can happen. You never know how pressure is going to affect, especially if it affects a team early and they get off to a slow start in a game.
All right, let's go to Marty in Havertown. Marty's got Flyers and Sixers comments. Marty, what's up? Good morning.
Hey, John. Hey, guys. So I'm trying to organize my thoughts because I've got so many thoughts about all the Philadelphia teams right now. It's unbelievable. But I'll say this, and this just came to my mind. In the postgame last night, they were talking to Paul George, and he said this time of year they just don't have time to practice, really. And so it's interesting how bad they looked last Saturday when Embiid came back for the first game, and how much better they looked up in Boston when he got down to the block. And then, last night it was kind of continuation of it. And like you said, I mean, he's letting the game come to him. He's not forcing shots. He threw up a couple more threes last night, I think, than he did in Boston. But regardless, it looks like they're all playing well together. But what I was initially calling about was I was at the game on Wednesday night, the Flyers game, and awesome win. It's, thanks to Vladar. And I thought Mishkov looked really good. He was, And here's the interesting thing. So throughout the game, though, I heard John say this in the morning too. They looked like a team that was afraid to lose, and they looked tight the entire game. I thought they were going to get relaxed at different points in the game. Mishkov had a nice shot on goal in the late second period.
He had the breakaway,
but they never really seemed to relax. Yeah, but I was excited about his energy. They need their skill players to come through, and at this point, your real skill players are Mishkov and Martone. But anyhow,
there's more than that. There's more skill.
Well, yeah,
Kecky's a skill player. Tippett's obviously really a skill player. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's true. I'm not
Zegras
saying that there aren't other ones.
Yeah, you need your best offensive players to be your best offensive players. That's the key. And Mishkov played with a lot more pace in that game. Yeah, I thought he was good. At points, I don't know if I thought they were kind of like he said. Your feeling was that they were kind of tight.
And Marty's going. To me, it felt like that they were playing not to like they had a lead and they were trying to just get the game
like
over with.
Sometimes.
But they didn't score.
Yeah, they look like that sometimes because of the way they defend. Because they're perfectly fine with letting the other team just sit on the outside.
Right.
And until the third period, Pittsburgh did not get to the inside. They owned the puck in the second period, but they never got inside.
Right.
There was never any good scoring chances. So, and when they did get good scoring chances, obviously in the third and overtime, the big fellow was back there to
23 shots in overtime and the third period for the Penguins.
Yeah.
And Vladar just had
he was a monster.
Unbelievable.
He was unbelievable and never apologized for good goaltending. It's part of the team.
Yep. All right. So the voice memos on the Davis Honda text line, it's very easy. Instead of texting, you hit that little plus button.
It's easy.
Next to the text. And then as soon as you hit that, the box pops up that says audio. And then you hit the audio button. And then you just leave us the message. And then you hit send. We'll edit it a little bit if you need to edit
trim it up.
And then we put it on there, boom, just like that. Paul George, after the game, and by the way, and that's just the regular number, 610-632-0975. Paul George, after the game, talking about the Sixers play. Here it is.
Yeah, I just thought we played free. You know what I mean? It's really no pressure. We got to come out. We lose, we go home. So I thought we played with no pressure. We stuck to our identity. We're going to play hard. And, I thought we defended three-point line. We keep them from getting extra possessions. And, we got big fella. Big fella is there's nothing you can do with big fella.
So, like,
he sounds relaxed.
The Sixers last night. The Sixers last night played like there wasn't expectations and there wasn't pressure. The Flyers early in the series against the Penguins were playing like there wasn't expectation or there wasn't pressure. They were playing a certain way. The Sixers were playing a certain way last night. They were.
Yeah.
Now, does that change because it's Game 7?
A little bit, but not to the same degree it changes for the Celtics. That's the problem. For the Celtics is there's so much pressure on them. They're about to choke out a first-round series that they were up 3-1.
Yep. Well, they're the odds-on favorite to win the conference.
It's not even close, right? And so there's already pressure on them to win this series. And when the Sixers now force a Game 7 the way they did, that's the other part. It's the way they did it. Like the Sixers won Game 2, and you go, oh, maybe they can hang around a little, make this a little bit of a series, right? But I don't know that we were expecting this.
Right.
And to feel, and for it to look like this. And again, the thing we don't know is we don't know what this team is when you have its full allotment of players playing the right way. Like Paul George said, we played the right way. We played to our identity. I didn't know what their identity was.
Right.
Because I never saw it.
They never had one.
Yeah.
Right? The last 2 games is what the Sixers are?
I mean,
They gotta be.
Game 5, it was one of those like, wow, this is great to see. This is really nice. When you replicate it again, and Joe Mazzulla, for all he is a head coach, is one of the best in the NBA, and it doesn't seem like they have any answers. This is what the Sixers can be.
12 of 41 from 3 last night.
And only 41. I know it's wild to say only 41, but they want to get 50 up. And you saw a number of times, there they are at the three-point arc, and someone's coming out, and instead of just sidestepping, firing away a 3, they're going into the paint. And when they start to get in the paint and navigate, it's like, wait. What are we going to do here? It's almost like they have never seen a 2-point shot.
Yeah, they don't want to take it.
They're like, well, we've been conditioned to just take threes and dish.
It's not like the Sixers shot that much better from 3 last night. They had a lot of misses. I think they were only 33%, 11 to 33.
They got good looks, and they didn't make them.
And they didn't make them. See,
they crushed them.
That's the crazy thing is the Sixers didn't. I don't think the Sixers played their best game offensively. No, it wasn't. It's just their defense was like that was a defensive game. It was,
and that's what put the look in Boston's eye of
That's how they can win.
Yeah, that's the oh, this team can defend like that. Wasn't expecting that. That's kind of the thing where they're scratching their head.
Paul George's defense on top of the threes, but the defense that he had against Jaylen Brown again, because Tatum looks like the legs are heavy. Tatum looks like a guy that's coming back from a major injury because he is. Yeah. But then Jaylen Brown's not great last night. I don't think
that scares them.
It does. It does. Peyton Pritchard did not have a good night. He was 1 from 8 from 3. If these guys aren't going to be able to shoot the 3, they're not going to win. They will. If they shoot 30% from 3, the Sixers would have to be so friggin' atrocious. That's how the Sixers win.
Yeah.
Keep defending like they've been defending.
Yeah. The only guy that shot decent was Derek White from 3. We went 3 for 6.
Yeah, and
it's been terrible this series.
And it's not that where they were just missing open threes. They haven't been getting open looks.
It's certainly not to the way they did in Game 4.
No.
And to what they're doing offensively for the Sixers that's working, they don't have any answer for Embiid. And because they don't have any answer from Embiid, the guys are sagging off the three-point arc. And when they kick it back out to Maxey or Edgecombe, they've got the speed advantage. Now, granted, Paul George, like I said, 2016 Indianapolis, he doesn't have that first step of 2016 Indianapolis. But when he's hitting the fadeaway jumpers and he's taking mid-range shots that every single data guy would probably lose their mind the fact he's taking them, it's hard to stop that. So you got 2 guards that could explode past you, and even Oubre. I got to give Oubre credit because I was on Oubre over the last couple of days. The wing defense that he's given you, and the fact that he's kind of a loose cannon out there, but sometimes it works for you. And it worked for you last night.
He had a good game.
Yeah. Rebounded the basketball. They can rebound.
And that's the other thing, though. It's not just what you're doing at the offense; it's what you're doing at the defensive end. That's where you can take their heart.
Yep,
because they're used to just having their way that offensively.
That's how they will. That's how they will win the series with the defense.
That's the key.
Edgecombe, no turnovers last night. As a team, they had 10 turnovers.
Wow.
So that's how you can. Because if you look at
control the game.
If you look at the Sixers, they didn't shoot well. It's not like they had a great shooting, like 3-pointing or 2-point field. They're not turning the ball over. They're not making the mistakes, which gives the Celtics an odd man rush to use a hockey term. But that's how you get the fast break points.
Yeah,
and you're not giving them extra possessions.
Right.
You out-rebound them last night. I think they had 8 offensive boards to your 8 offensive boards. You're not giving them extra possessions because that's where they're going to get up those extra 10 threes. They're going to get a log rebound. They're going to kick it out. They're going to beat your defense to the spot. The fact they're rebounding the basketball the way they have over the last 2 games. Maxey after Game 5 saying they were tired of giving up rebounds. I was like, yeah, I was tired of watching it. Last night I actually watched you rebound the basketball. It's amazing what happens when you limit a team to 1 shot.
Yep. Yeah, they really responded. That was an embarrassing effort. And Maxey talked about it afterwards. He said that's just unacceptable. And you've seen the last 2 games. They've come out with an energy and a purpose and a look that you haven't seen.
What do you think that locker room was like, Boston's locker room, after they gave up 38 in the second quarter?
I think you could hear a pin drop.
Holy. Yeah. And then the coach came in and peeled the paint off the walls.
They weren't. How much were they down when they yanked the starters? Tatum was out because he he had hurt his calf, I think.
I was like 23.
Yeah,
It was like 20 something. They were like, yeah, it's over.
Which 10 minutes to go in a game, especially a 3-point shooting team.
Yeah, you gotta be careful.
Missoula was like, no, this is done. Because I think he had said after the game that the second unit earned the minutes that the first unit wasn't playing with energy or anything like that.
Yeah, because they didn't come back.
Let's hear Joel Embiid after the game. Joel Embiid, I actually have some, I was reading something this morning on ESPN.com. If you think about the success the Celtics have had over the Joel Embiid 76ers, man, they've killed them. Here's Joel Embiid after the game talking about losing to Boston.
44 years in this historic rivalry since the Sixers last eliminated the Celtics in a playoff series. How do you view this opportunity on Saturday to try to do that?
I've been playing these guys for so long. I'm tired of losing to them. So we have a chance to accomplish, something special. They're a great team. And you look at everything they have. That's a super team. So we just got to go in there with the mindset we've had for the last, 2 games. Last 2 wins, and, one play at a time. Tough environment, but we've been there. We won 2 games over there. So just keep doing what we've been doing, and we're coming from.
Last time the Sixers eliminated the Celtics in the postseason was what year?
2001.
1982.
You read the same thing I did?
Is it 1982?
I had that. Remember, I was surrounded by Celtics fans on Sunday night. I was reminded
the Celtics
of it
weren't any good
consistently.
Yeah, because it was Milwaukee, Toronto. Who they have in the first series? I can't remember. Pacers. And then, obviously, L.A. in the final.
The Celtics have ended Embiid's season 3 times. 2018 in the semis, 2020 first-round sweep, 2023 second-round series. And the Sixers had the series lead 3-2 on their home court.
Yeah.
That was the James Harden. Harden had a really good series except for the last 2 games. No team has been down 3-1 as many times as the Sixers have without coming back to win a series. All right? That in the 18 times the Sixers have been down 3-1, they've never come back to win a series.
Wow. So that'd be history for them. I wonder how many times a 7 seed has been down 3-1 and come back to win a series. I would probably say never.
Probably never.
It's
crazy because the 1 seed's is down 3-2.
Yeah.
And now the 2 seed is on the ropes.
Everything will be wide open.
Wow.
Like the highway, it's like when you're on 95 and you're heading to the airport to catch a flight and you're like, I am never going to be there in time because there's too much. And then all of a sudden it just opens. And you're like, oh.
It's that 5-lane section.
Right. Yeah. So there's the accident. Or the roving PennDOT crew, which I love.
I'm Jason. I'm back. Whatever. I'm back and forth on momentum, right? Like sometimes it's like yes, there's momentum and it matters. Other times it's like no, one game is different from the next
game to game in a series.
Game 4, the Celtics blow the Sixers out. There was no momentum in the Game 5. Sixers made an adjustment. Game 5, there was clearly momentum from Game 5 to Game 6 because the Sixers came out and were playing the same way. Now after Game 6, I don't know how you don't feel the Celtics are on the ropes. Now, just because there's going to be a day in between the games and you go back up to Boston, I still feel like they're on the ropes. And it looked like that.
Going back to Boston adds to it.
It does.
it totally adds to it. If I'm the Sixers, I love being on the road for Game 7 because your own fan base can turn on you so fast. And you're there and you just feel the pressure of that full TD Garden.
This isn't Oklahoma City or a Midwestern town. This is Boston. That's as volatile as
Northeast quarter.
As volatile as we are as fans, and that puts more pressure on them.
They're so similar to us that it's like a mirror in a lot of ways with an accent.
All right, coming up, can Joel Embiid rewrite his legacy with a big Game 7? And we have your reaction coming up next, 610-632-0975. Flyers talk coming up, but Jason Rushjoy joins us a little bit later as well. Middays with Marks, 97.5, The Fanatic.
Middays with Marks, with John Marks and Ray Dunn. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Here's Oubre faking it 3-4 to shoot, drives it, jams it on Luka, and that will seal the deal. 103.89, 90 seconds to go.
Time to get us on the call right here.
Sakes.
I love Tom McGinnis, man.
Game 7 will be on the Fanatic on Saturday night. Game 1 of the Flyers and the Hurricanes will be on WMMR. Unfortunately, when we have success for both teams, that creates conflict sometimes.
Yeah.
And when I didn't know this, I
got a slight stagger though, which is nice.
I woke up to take a leak, and I saw a text message from Mike Vito at like 1:15.
I got one too.
It's like, oh man, because So what happened last night that caused?
I replied, by the way.
What happened last night that caused because a lot of people thought the Flyers were going to start
Monday.
Early next week.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they decided to start it on Saturday. Frank, I'm not happy about it. I wanted a couple of days off too, just to recover and let things shape up and let these other series finish and figure, okay, let's start Monday. We'll go Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday in Philly. Like I thought Friday and Sunday in Philly would be an advantage too. But no, they're going to start the stupid thing on Saturday and piss me off. Now we got the conflict. And it's not ideal to me.
Not ideal. I'd like to focus my attention on one thing.
Me too.
Not both. But it'll be crazy.
Like, do you have the YouTube TV or anything like that?
No.
You get the split screen.
Yeah.
A lot of things is a split screen now, but you can only listen to one of them. I remember 2001, the NBA Finals, Game 1. I lived at Front and Arch Street in a building called The Awnings right there. And there's a rooftop deck. And we went up there and watched it, and we synced the TV up there that we brought up. It was like, like a heavy TV back then.
Right.
Bring a flat screen. We didn't have flat screens yet. And we had the radio up there, and we listened to Tom again and Game 1 on the rooftop deck.
That's awesome.
My wife and I, we weren't even married yet. We were still just dating.
Are you kidding me?
And we had like 10 people up there, and we watched that game on the rooftop deck, looking at the Delaware and the Walt Whitman Bridge, and it was incredible night. Like, it was a beautiful spring night. Like, I love these winter sports in shorts.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like when the fans are showing up in shorts, that's a good thing.
Well, I remember there was that.
It's a buzz.
How about this, Ray? In 2001, Ray was barely born.
Barely alive.
In 2001, when the Sixers were in the finals, it coincided with that, but it coincided with they had a night at the Phillies game where they were giving out the Randy Wolf Pack mask.
I remember that.
And I had one friend that's like, yeah, I'm going to go to the game anyway. And I'm like, the Sixers are playing in the finals. What are you doing?
Go walk in, get your mask, and get out.
He wanted to go and get the Wolfpack mask.
Well, people were crazy about the Wolfpack.
But what I remember about that was that everybody was in shorts. To your point,
yeah,
which is what made me think about it.
I remember all the playoff runs that these teams would go on, and as you go deeper, the tailgates get longer because it's nicer out, and you have the outdoor element. And I always remember this part too: the women get hotter as they go.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of Flyers fans that are out these days.
The dimes start rolling into the barn. You know what I mean?
Let's go to Mark in Collegeville. Mark, what's going on, man?
Jason, John, Ray, how are we doing today?
What's going on, Marky?
Not much. I'm all fired up. I'm all horned up. I'm all Sixered up right now.
Give him the horn, Ray!
Oh, man, that is great.
What a time to be alive.
Love it.
It is. It's a party right now, and we just got to enjoy the times while we can. But hey, so going into this series with the Sixers, when Embiid wasn't playing, I thought this kind of reminded me of the Hawks series back in 21, where the Hawks had no business with the Sixers, and the Hawks ended up taking us down. It was heartbreaking, especially as the team that we had. Embiid coming back definitely. Is a big key for us. We don't have to rely on just Drummond and Demba, but, and I would say this, for all the years that we've had Tobias and the only year that we've had Paul George has been more money than Tobias has been in the whole time. So,
he's a higher pedigree player. Yeah.
Yeah. And what I'll say this is when we had Harden and Tobias, Maxey and Embiid, when it came to Game 6, we lost that. It was going back to Boston for Game 7. I was like, we have no shot. It's not happening. But say when my friends and I were talking, I was just saying, you know what? I feel way more confident with the team right now with the DJ, Maxey, Embiid, and George right now. I think last night you saw that clearly. We've been in the series the whole time. So, Game 7, I'm not looking at it as like, oh, we're going back to Boston and it's over. It's Game 7. No, I genuinely think this is our best chance to take them down. I think we figured them out. I think we actually truly do have the better team. I think it's just you're relying on Tatum and Brown compared to our four. I think it's night and day that we.
The team is totally different. This Sixers team is totally different than the one we saw all year. It's kind of like the Flyers. Like they get these guys at the end, and then all of a sudden they're a different team. And then the Sixers are the same thing. They're getting guys. It's like late trade deadline additions when Paul George has been out for 25 games.
You're right.
And he's as fresh as a daisy, right? What's he been doing for 25 games? Chilling.
Yep.
Working out, but he's not taking the grind.
Right, his body's fresh.
Yeah.
Which was always going to be a problem.
At his age, that's big.
Whether it's a knee or other ailments, and so now he's fresh. Yeah, I mean, they definitely, the Sixers are playing with confidence and edge right now. They look like the team that should win the series.
Yeah.
Not the Celtics.
I got to be honest with you, too. I think, if you're the Sixers, you're keeping an eye on the East, too, going, wait a minute here. Let's not squander this opportunity because there may be a path. You know what I mean? You got to look at the big picture a little bit, too. You got to stay focused on Game 7 and get by it, but there's a path. If the Pistons go down, you got to look at the whole opportunity. I think Embiid's pretty cerebral.
Yep.
He always kind of knows everything that's going on. I mean.
All right, so can I say that I feel good for Joel?
I do.
I
absolutely you can.
I feel good for Joel.
He's grinded in this city. Let's be honest,
dude.
He's dramatic.
We all know the flaws, and we all know what comes with Embiid. Bro, he had emergency surgery 3 weeks ago. Literally yesterday. 3 weeks ago yesterday.
Yeah, I'm still recovering from a surgery 7 weeks ago.
No, I know, but
I'm limping around like an idiot. The thing is with Embiid, he makes you mad sometimes because there's so much talent there.
Yep.
And you just, oh, man. But, we've always wanted the same thing for the guy.
Right. There's never been any doubt about the talent. And
Man, I'm trying to get down there.
Also, the injuries are never going to be that. That's always going to be a big part of Embiid.
He's huge. So
right.
They're going to have it.
But now, suddenly, the roster around him really works.
It's beneficial to him.
It really works, Ray.
It's all this time we've been talking about taking the pressure off of him. It just happened to be him getting on the floor. We watched it finally happen.
But he's got to also be willing to defer when something's not there and feel like he had to do it all.
He played great last night.
8 assists felt low for the way he passed.
You know
the
what? It really did. I was surprised when he only had 8.
They left meat on the bone.
But they were also missing. They were missing a lot of shots. They were.
His game last night, what did he finish with 19 points?
Yeah, something like that.
So he played better last night than some games where he scored 40.
No, I agree.
Because it was a team game.
All right, so don't give me you're going to jinx them. Because I did this with the Flyers. I put $10 on the Flyers when they were plus 2,400 to win the East. I'm putting $10 right now. They're plus 2,000 to win the East.
All right. Okay. Certainly a good payout.
I mean, it's $200. I'm not going to take a week off of work because of this, but it's also
I might be able to.
It's also $10. That doesn't even buy me lunch. So $10 to win 200.
That wouldn't even get you a Happy Meal anymore. Yeah, with a toy.
Wawa has that $6 meal deal, though.
That they do.
What's in the meal deal?
What is it, Ray?
A
sandwich?
Yeah, you get a sandwich, either a shorty, you go wrap, then you get the chips on the side and a soda.
And a soda. Because sodas are $2 these days. The 20 ounces are over $2.
No, soda ain't $2. It's like $2.99.
I know.
That's what I'm telling you. The $6 meal deal. I'm telling you, you got to get in on it.
Oh,
I'm surprised they didn't put to Wawa drink it. I'm a big fan of the Wawa half and half.
The half and half is delicious.
Awesome. And the lemonade's great too.
So listen, we have some callers on the line. Russ Joy from Snow the Goalie is going to join us coming up next to discuss the Flyers and the Panthers. How realistic is it for the Panthers to win? I mean, listen, I have hockey royalty here with Jason Martinez. So
tough matchup.
Just a couple hockey guys talking pucks and sticks coming up next. But the 76ers, are you kidding me? As Tom McGinnis once said. Are you kidding me? Game 7. And I think if you ask Celtics fans right now, they're really concerned about this.
Yeah. All right, if we have any local Celtics fans, I'd love to hear from them.
Yep. All right, that's all coming up next. Middays with Marks, 97.5.